So the situation in Bangalore was quite bad today. If you know, we had the Supreme Court decision on the appeal that the Karnataka government had made on the Kaveri water dispute. And if you don't know about this whole thing, just look it up. It's a little complex. It's just basically, if you're not acquainted with it, it's a water dispute between the states of Karnataka, which is the state, and the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu over sharing of the Kaveri river water. And it's an old issue. It's been there for a few decades at least, and every now and then when there's a water shortage, they have these disputes over sharing of the water. And now the Supreme Court of India has asked Karnataka to release water to Tamil Nadu, and that's what's causing all this trouble here in this state, Karnataka. So today morning there was a decision from the Supreme Court which they had asked us to release water sometime last week. So Karnataka government had appealed again, and that was basically rejected, to sum it up. And that caused a lot of protests today all over Bangalore. And shit, can't go this way. Should I try? No. Problem is with these fat tires, when you go over uneven surfaces, it can get a little unstable. And with the heavy bike, once it tips, it's hard to hold it up. So yeah, that was the situation today. A lot of vehicles burnt, mostly vehicles from the neighboring state who these people are fighting with. Wherever they found vehicles registered in that state, vehicles from that state, wherever they found those vehicles in Bangalore, they kind of damaged them, turned them over, and set them on fire in some places. In other places they just had burnt tires and created those small fires just to show their protest. And this was kind of unexpected for Bangalore. Last week on Friday we had a strike, a general strike, which was declared well in advance, and people knew, so they stayed away from the streets, and most of the businesses were closed. But today it was all unexpected. Everybody was working. They didn't expect trouble to start, and people were kind of caught unawares. So many people left early from work. I am leaving pretty much at 6:05 now. It's almost usual time, maybe a little late in fact, but yeah, I could have left earlier, but the traffic was really bad in most places, at least according to Google Maps. So that's one reason why I stayed back for some time. So this guy, this red Renault Duster, he has a Karnataka flag on his car. So I wonder if he's actually a participant in all these protests or if he's just showing support or if he is just, you know, trying to be safe by putting on a Karnataka flag, because that's what I thought as well. I mean, if you put up a flag, they'll probably not harm you because they know that you're supporting. So yeah. No, it's a serious issue, I understand. I mean, if you're a farmer in the affected areas and the water shortage kind of affects your livelihood, it could affect your life because most of these farmers are quite poor anyway. You know, so it is a serious issue for them, but I mean, protesting in a violent way, damaging property, I'm not sure if that gets you anywhere. I mean, honestly, I don't have a better solution either, except for one, which I don't really want to get into. I mean, it's not really a solution now. It's probably too late already, but yeah, you can probably guess what I'm going to be talking about. But I'm not going to be talking about it now. It's going to be a long, winded story. I mean, not a story, but you know, could go on for a really long time on that topic. So I'm not going to start now and bore you. Got to be really careful on those railway tracks. Can be very slippery. I mean, it's happened to me once. I was braking, I think, and I wasn't even braking very hard, but my rear tire slid there. Wasn't much. I could maintain control. But on these Harleys, you know, it's easy to do that when you're accelerating as well because this enormous amount of low-end torque. That I have done quite a few places. Some a bit intentionally in control, some not really intentionally, and almost out of control, but I caught it still. You know, get frustrated sometimes, you know, in some loose sand or gravel, give it a lot of gas and whoop, there goes your rear end. Sorry?
How much, bro?
This is, I mean, on road it comes to around 6.5, but then the accessories and all almost 8. Yeah. Varies from 17, 22, depending on, like, you know, traffic conditions. Yeah. Nowadays you have a lot of options. When I got it in 2013, there were not many options, so kind of had to buy this. Nowadays you can get almost same kind of performance for around 4 lakhs, 4.5 lakhs also. But yeah, I mean, it's not just the performance. Talking about the performance, but of course, a lot of other factors. I mean, 4.5 lakhs, you would get the street, the Harley Davidson street, but as I've spoken in some of my earlier videos, I don't really like all aspects of the bike. The engine is good, not as a Harley engine though. As a general motorcycle engine, it's good, and even as a general motorcycle, it's quite good. Although the build quality in some parts of it could be better. Sorry. And then we have the Kawasaki Ninja 650. It's a little more expensive, of course. I think 5.5, 6 on road. And it's the same as this, a little less, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty good in terms of performance and as an all-rounder, you know. I like that bike, and as I've said before, that was the bike I was eyeing when I got this, but it wasn't really available in the market at that time, so kind of really was forced to get this. No regrets, I like the bike. So we're approaching the Keyapuram area where there were reports of some trouble earlier today, and you can see one of the police vehicles there on the other side. And yeah, there would have been a lot of police presence, and as of the latest reports, see, ashes would have burned things here. And as of latest reports, nothing's going on right now, but the traffic is expected to be bad. So let's see. We still see vehicles with Karnataka flags around. These are most likely the protesters. If not, yeah, as I said, could be just people showing support or people just trying to stay safe because, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who had that idea. Pretty sure you won't see a lot of TN Tamil Nadu registration numbers on vehicles today. People are scared because many vehicles have been damaged and burnt. Vehicles with Tamil Nadu registrations. So, I mean, many people I know, directly or indirectly, who were at work, they've left their vehicles at work and have gone home by some other means. This Tata Sumo on the left, it's got a huge Karnataka flag. Well, not huge, but pretty big one. You think these are protesters, and they're carrying women and kids? It could be, actually. I mean, you know, farmers and all. As I said, it affects them. It affects their entire family, so they could be involving, you know, the women and kids in the protests. I myself am kind of neutral to this. I mean, of course, being a resident of Karnataka for so many years, although I'm not natively from here, but being a resident here, I kind of support the people here, but I don't feel that the other side is entirely wrong either. It affects both sides, right? I mean, I can't say much about the numbers, how right or wrong the Supreme Court's decision is in terms of the numbers that they've given about how much water is to be released. So can't talk about the numbers, but it does affect both sides, and I really wish there was a better way to solve this. And I'm just going to give you a hint of what I was talking about earlier, you know, what could be done, why it's actually happening. You got to look at the root cause, right? It's the environmental impact of having such a huge population to support with the same limited resources. And it's not just the same anymore. Those resources are diminishing because of the population's impact. You know, You're cutting down trees, destroying nature, and obviously the weather is changing, climate is changing, rainfall's reduced, so the rivers get dry, and you're putting more pressure on the rivers also. You're using up a lot more water than you used to, say, some decades ago. And so the impact on population is definitely there. I mean, impact on the resources, impact of the population. So my solution, and this is not just a solution for the water crisis, the water dispute, it's a solution for a lot of problems in India, and that is do something about the population. India, I feel, needs drastic population control steps, and that's gonna solve a lot of problems. Environmental problems, on resources, pressure on resources, education problem, poverty, you name it. I mean, the population is the major factor causing all of these, directly or indirectly. You take steps to control the population, many of these problems will not be solved, but they will be gradually reduced. You won't see effects immediately. It may take decades to see the effects, but things will gradually improve. Whereas now things are just getting worse and worse. And we may, we may get to a point where we may not be able to sustain this population anymore with our limited resources. What do we do then? Again, looking for sixth gear. Oh. I really wonder how long this protest is going to go on, because it started last week. They had a strike on Friday, and it was pretty successful. Pretty much the whole of Bangalore was shut down completely. And I'm hearing rumors, I'm not sure yet, I'm hearing rumors of strikes called again this week on Wednesday and Friday. There are 2 more days this week, and if it's going to be the same as last week, 2 more days of complete shutdown, and that affects businesses all around. And they may be trying to do this for the betterment of the state, but by shutting down businesses, you're actually affecting the state economy in an adverse way. So yeah, that's my take on it. I don't know what else to say about it. I see their point of view. I understand it. Kind of support it to an extent, but I also see the negative impacts from what they're doing. I mean, and they're impacting themselves, which they probably don't realize. So, yeah, that's all I can do. Just share my opinion, right? And yeah, I don't have much else to talk about today, so I think I may end it here. Alright, let this guy pass. Turn on your lights. What's he looking for? Hit the rev limiter. So yeah, goodbye from Volatile 42 for tonight, and catch you soon with another topic, whatever comes up. And hey, I hope you guys watched my Horsley Hills videos. I know they were quite long and I had like 5 parts. Yeah, the 5th part is still pending. I'll have that up by the time you see this, of course. I apologize for having them so long, but really, I'm just starting off with motovlogging, and I suppose the hardest part is to decide on which footage to keep and which ones to get rid of. And yeah, that's how your videos get longer and longer. And yeah, I'll try to make them shorter next time. And even this one is probably getting too long. So yeah, I'll end it here. Bye. See you next time. You see this place? I don't know if you can see all the bugs that are hitting me. Probably can see them in the beam of the headlight. There are 2 lakes on either side of the road, just back there, and it's basically the road passing through a lake. I don't know if it's a bridge or it doesn't look like a bridge, but it could be. So what happens is there are all sorts of bugs, mostly mosquitoes there, and I can see my visor is full of these mosquitoes right now. So every time I pass through there in the evening, my bike is like front of it full of mosquitoes, my helmet full of mosquitoes. I mean, you know, the dead bugs sticking to it. And I have to clean them every time I pass through this place in the evening. Don't do this kind of speeds because I like to be safe, and I know these speeds are not always safe, especially when it's dark and you can expect vehicles like this one with no lights. But yeah, occasionally temptation gets you.